My name is Michael Topiol. I was born January 26, 1912. It was on a Friday. My father's name is David. My mother's name is Lola. We were 4 brothers and 4 sisters. After the war, we are left only 2, a brother and a sister, and me. My comes from a small town in Poland. He came young to Warsaw. His name is Michael Topiol. I have his name. Grandma, the grandfather, he died very young. My father was a boy, 13 years old, when his father died. And they were a family from 3 brothers and 1 sister. Next, on the mother's side, my grandfather was all the time in Poland, in Warsaw.
What was his name?
His name was Aaron Hoyna. The grandma's name was Nacha. My grandfather died when I was 9 years old, on the mother's side.
Mm-hmm.
And the grandma from the mother's side, she died old age. I would say in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
And the grandma from the father's side, she died in the 85 or something like that.
Mm.
The name of my brothers and sisters, the older sister after me, I was the oldest son. Her name was Franca. Then comes a brother, Jack. Then comes another sister, Bluma. And after Bluma comes another sister, Nacha. She was after the grandma's name.
Mm-hmm.
And then comes one other boy, Moshe. And another sister, Hannah.
Mm-hmm.
And the last of the youngest was Aaron. We were not very rich people. Sometimes we suffered to make a living.
What did your dad do?
It was in the feather
business.
Feather business,
Uh-huh.
but it was not so great. When I grew up, I helped up a lot to make a living for the family. I went to school up to 13, 14 years.
14?
After 14 years, I started to go to work.
And then you went to work?
I couldn't afford to go
Right.
to school. I had to make a living. So I went to learn tailoring.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a tailor, and I was very good with tailoring. I worked and I grew up in the tailoring, and I made a good living. I helped out the house most of the time. Till the war came. September 29th, they conquered Poland. Before they coming to Warsaw, they destroyed the city.
Mm-hmm.
And everything was burning and that. Okay, they came in, and the first week when it was okay, and it was okay.
I have a question. Before we go on, I have a question. What? I know we're gonna go back a little bit, but I want to know what kind of. You lived in an apartment, right?
Yeah.
Well, how many rooms were in the apartment? Do you remember?
I don't know. So this is important.
Well, I'd like to know.
One bedroom
Uh huh.
and a kitchen. That's a large room
Uh huh.
with a kitchen.
So 10 people. Your grandparents had their own place, or they lived in the same place?
No,
They had their own.
everybody in the same place. The kitchen and the room.
But did your grandparents live with you?
The grandparents?
Yeah.
No.
So they had their own apartment.
Sure.
Okay.
It was a large room, so it was,
Yeah, it was large, but there's still one bathroom for 10 people.
we not an exception. There was apartments with 20 people in one room.
How tall?
So they made a living with the 4 stories.
Where did you
we
live?
lived on the four.
You lived on the top.
The shopping was daily shoppings.
But where was there a store?
In
or
the stores on the
people
street.
come to the.
On the store.
Were they
Close to the building was the stores.
There's
in the building.
a grocery store.
Yeah, grocery stores.
So you.
Yeah, definitely. All the stores in the close to the building. The street. This was a different kind of. They had a wagon with fruit with whatever.
A horse wagon.
No, not a horse.
You pulled the wagon.
Pull it.
A push cart.
And they sold it in the street. There was no car.
Oh, just horses? Horse and carriage?
Horses
and carriage.
And carriage. It was very few cars, very few.
Right.
Taxis, a few taxis.
Uh-huh.
Not too many. It was cars, but not too many.
Close to you?
Next door was a temple.
So you were right next door to the temple?
Yeah.
Okay. And how far was your school?
Not too far, about 10 minutes to walk.
Okay.
Summer it was hot, winter was cold.
Did it snow? Did you have snow in Warsaw?
Yeah, a lot of snow.
And a lot of rain and stuff?
A lot of snow, a lot of rain, a lot of
So it was
everything a lot. This was the war started September 29.
Mm-hmm.
The Germans destroyed Warsaw completely. They bombed, they burned all city.
Mm-hmm.
And it was no food. You couldn't buy no food, it was no food. We didn't have nothing to eat. Okay, but when the Germans came in, they came into Warsaw. The first few days was normal, was okay. We thought maybe everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But short after that, a couple of weeks, a few weeks, something, they start to show what they are. They run after Jews with birds. They cut the birds with the faces, and it was not so good. After this was maybe 4 weeks when they came to Warsaw, there was a curfew. You couldn't go straight out late on the street. I was in one place, and I was a little too late to go home before the curfew starts. And when I came out to the street, there's too many people already. And one German ran up to me and asked, what are you, Jewish? I said, yes, I'm Jew. He started to yell, I'll give you $1.05, macht los von der Street, die schmutzigste Straße. Das means I'm dirty the city, the streets. I have to run out. So I started to run, fast I could, to be home before the curfew started. After that, I said I can't stay no more in Poland. I have to go to escape from here. So I
Did
I
you?
had a cousin. We went. We prepared what bought. We took some little money, some clothing, and we left Poland. My father was not so happy to let me go because I was the main help. But it didn't tell me not to go or yes to go. It didn't tell me nothing. So I left Poland.
And when they
My mother was, she died before the it's a half year before the war started.
Okay, so your mother passed away earlier.
She passed away a
So
half
your
year
dad was
before the German came.
Right. Okay, and your father, when you told him about what happened in the street, didn't he think maybe it's time for everybody to get out? No?
Did you?
Was not possible to do it. Small kids and the people were not prepared to go. He wouldn't go. Only young people escaped.
Did you go? What's his name?
A cousin.
What's his name?
His name was Zygmunt.
Zygmunt. He's from your father's side or your
He's
mother's
from
side?
father's side.
From your father's side. So is Zygmunt Topiol?
No, not
No?
Brothander.
Okay. So
Just
so it was a sister, your father's sister's son.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. In the beginning, you took a little train.
At the time you left, the Nazis weren't checking. For like,
They're checking.
so how did you pass the Nazis?
It was not, I don't know, in the beginning they were not so rough.
Right.
So we left in the morning, it was in the morning, quiet, nobody
was checking.
bothered us.
Uh-huh.
We took a little train to a little small town out from Warsaw.
Mm-hmm.
Then we start the travel. We find a Polak to guide us to there was the book, like a river.
A river. You have to cross the river.
The big river was Warsaw.
Uh-huh.
Close to Warsaw. This river called the book.
Mm.
This was the border from already Russia, close to Russia.
The Polish-Russian border was
yeah.
crossed by the river.
Okay, a Polak guided us through the other side of the book. I took a boat.
A boat.
We were about 10 people.
Mm-hmm.
We find other people walking the same.
They're all going to Russia.
Russia.
Uh-huh.
So we went together. He took a boat. He took us over to the other side of the book.
No.
Crossed the river. And it took us to another Poland, the other side.
Mm-hmm.
The other side of the Polak, we were done all day, and late in the morning,
In the morning?
the morning hours.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to guide to
Early in the morning.
the border to the other side of the Russia. And we were very, very lucky. We didn't have no Germans on our way. When the Polak who guided us, he took us a little on the road and he showed us that had to go there is the Russia. This was dark in the night, the other hours, and we didn't know, we couldn't find, we started walking, we got lost, we didn't know where to go.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to stay on this little land, and Germans, we heard the Germans walk with the dogs. We were lucky, no Germans came to see us. Then started the first lights from the day came out. We saw a little house a little bit farther down.
Mm-hmm.
So we had no choice. We went to this house. We knocked the door. A Polak, he opened the door, and he took him into the room. He made tea, hot tea. He was he was very friendly. It was very close to the border from the Russia. He helped okay, then he took us and he showed me go across.
He showed you where Russia was?
You are on the other side. We did, and we came to the other side. We are on the Russian side. Then when we went to this little land, we didn't see no Russian. We didn't see no German.
Germans,
We were very lucky.
Okay.
But in other places, the Russian arrested the people. They kept them for weeks on the no man's land. They kept them in no man's land for weeks.
Wow. Did they
Without
send them
food,
back to
with everything.
Poland? They sent them back to Poland?
No, they didn't send them back to Poland. After a week too, they let them go to
Russia.
To Russia. It was not Russia. It was the part of Poland from before.
It was occupied by
They
Russia.
occupied by the Russians.
Right.
And we were lucky. I didn't have nobody. And in the little time, we took the train and we went to Białystok. In Białystok, I had an address to a girl, but she was working for me in Warsaw.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to this address to her, and she gave me a little place where to sleep over the night.
With your cousin? Both of you?
Both.
You both of you, okay.
Yeah, both.
Mm-hmm.
We stayed there a few days, and then we found another place where to stay, and I didn't like it. It was very tough in Białystok, so I decided to go further to Russia,
More into
deep, away from from Białystok.
Okay.
From Białystok, we took the train. We went to Russia, close to Minsk.
Okay.
It was a big city, but this was a small town after Minsk.
Mm-hmm.
In Minsk, I started to work my tailoring.
Mm-hmm.
I was a good tailor, so I had no problem. And I worked there.
How long did you stay in Minsk?
A few months.
Mm-hmm.
A few months, maybe 6 months. And there was a lot of refugees in this town, and we did not like it, the living in Russia.
You didn't like the conditions?
We didn't like the living there.
How did they treat the Jews there in Russia?
Not too good, not too bad, nothing. Just
okay. How was did the police ever like stop you and ask you for?
No, no such a thing.
Okay.
There was other things. We did not like the system from the communists. Okay, we were working close one to the other with the machine.
Right.
And we talked, but the NKVD arrested one fellow. They not arrested. They called him to go to the NKVD, to the police, and they want for him. They want for him that he should report everything that we talk against the system. They kept them in the police and over there all day. When they came out, we were surprised what happened to them. We don't see him all day, and we knew he went to the police. Okay, this was already many hours. He came back, and we asked him what happened. He said, "Don't talk, don't say nothing." After we finished the day work, we went to his house, and we talked, and he told us what they asked them to do, to listen what we talk about it against
So they wanted him
the
to
system, to spy.
Okay.
And so I didn't like it. He was very scared, the other fellow. But he was the family, the wife and kids.
Right.
Nothing he could do. But me, with the other,
With your cousin.
not the cousin. The cousin didn't go with me.
Oh, he's.
He stayed in Bialystok. He went back
Okay. Okay.
but it was. I was from Warsaw. The other was from Prague. I'd rather have. Okay, we started friendship, and we decided to go back to Bialystok.
Oh, okay.
To go home, to go back to Warsaw. It was not what I didn't make a living. I was not hungry. I had to eat. I made
But you didn't like
be there. Didn't like the system.
Right.
And we just want to come back. So we went back to Bialystok. Bialystok, he had friends from Warsaw from before. But then he lived now in Bialystok. The people from Prague, they stayed there in the same place. But so then we stayed in Bialystok again a few weeks, a few months. Then we decided to go back to Warsaw.
Okay.
So he had a friend, but the guide back to Warsaw. A lot of people, it was not so easy to go back already. It was in the beginning it was easy, but later on it was more closer.
But there was still a lot of people that want to go back to Poland, to Warsaw.
But still, the people still went back.
Okay.
Not the many like before, but a few. Okay, we decided to go back. There were two brothers or something. Then was we came to take the train to go back closer to the border. The police arrested one of these two brothers.
Right, but they arrested a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One was not
Taken away.
arrested.
Right.
And he came to, we were not so close in this place. He came and told us that he was arrested. We got to wait for him. But we started to wait. It didn't show up no more. So we decided we go alone.
Right.
We're going to leave the other fella. So we took the train, and we went up close to the border. We came close to the border, a few miles. Then we met a person that had a wagon and horse. He should bring it closer to the border, then we will pass the border. This should be done very late in the night. When we were waiting, 12 o'clock, we prepared to go to the border. It happened, the wagon broke down. We couldn't go. Okay, we decided to go next day to fix the wagon and do it next day. And we were hidden in where the horses were living.
Stable.
In a stable. Hidden, because the Germans, they were walking around close to the border, checking. It was already in the afternoon next day. I don't know what happened, what kind of power come to my head and said, go back to Bialystok. Don't go to the border. I couldn't resist it. I said, I go back. I was with friend. And the friend didn't want to go. I say, you don't want to go, I go alone. It's such a power, I couldn't resist it. I had to go back to Bialystok, not to go back to Poland. So it happened. If I would go back to Poland, I would be here now. And the friend was left. No, one friend went with me, and the rest of the group passed to Poland.
Mm-hmm. How old were you then?
Huh?
How old were you?
Me?
At the time, yeah, how old?
About 28.
28 years old.
So, this I remember all the time. If I went back to Poland at that time, I wouldn't be here now. I wouldn't raise a family, have children, godchildren. It was something, a miracle. We all are here. Like somebody was watching over me, over us.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a place with the men when this place. He worked with the police.
Mm-hmm.
He helped the police to clean up. All night they work night, never in daytime.
Mm-hmm.
They go house to house and pick up the people and put them on the station, the trains. So and I was living in this house. It didn't look in his house. So I left. Next day, okay, we got out to the city. The city is empty already.
They took everybody.
Everybody arrested. Nobody. I still had a friend, but he found his father. His father was living in Russia, and he was a big man. They arrested him to put him to Siberia. So, I'm alone. I had a friend, but his father was in Russia. He helped him to make a little place to sell whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
He promised me to help me to get documents, to have the right to stay in Bialystok.
Mm-hmm.
It's happened when I come back to the place. I see police. I see police. There were a few people. We were arrested. We were arrested. This is the second time I was lucky. If I wouldn't be arrested, I would be alive today. The German came after they took Bialystok.
Mm-hmm.
They arrested me. They sent me to Siberia like all the others.
So what did you do there?
Huh?
What did you do in Siberia?
What I did?
When they put you in a
I
prison?
was arrested.
They put you in a prison?
It's in a prison.
Okay. Now, what did you do in the prison? How did you survive?
They walked the forest. They cut trees. You know.
It's freezing there.
Sure.
A lot of people died?
Yeah.
A lot of people died out there.
Hungry, died, swollen.
Now, how did you survive?
My tailoring helped me. I was working in the Meister's guy, the little shop. They had a shoemaker,
Mm-hmm.
they had a tailor. I
Uh-huh.
was the tailor with another fellow. The other
Mhm.
fellow had, he was arrested. He had all his clothing, everything with him. He paid the commandant for me.
Really?
So I should stay involved with him because he couldn't find nobody as do it fast like I did. And in all this winter, I worked in the shop.
The tailor.
I had to. I was not hungry. I had to. They went to work with the clothes, the water, the hoisen, you know, for the wall.
Right.
They make holes. I had to make a lot of
Repair them. Repair the holes.
No,
a patch.
they're not supposed to go out with the hole to the work. It's got to be covered.
They can die there, but they can't go in the hole.
But this tailor, he couldn't do that fast. But I did. I was so fast. I fixed everything. Everything was fine. And they were happy. The commandant were happy. It was good.
How long were you in prison?
A year and a half.
Year and a half. So basically, they arrested you for no reason.
No reason.
No reason at all. They just picked you up and put you there.
They, this, but a person, a dangerous person, something.
That's what they said.
They gave me 3 years. There was a
3
trial.
years?
There was a trial. No trial. they have the list. They called the name Michael Topiol 3 years. Schulenthal 5 years. They get 5 years and 3 years. You never see the judge. They had a list.
Yeah.
They read the list. They didn't. I was altogether a year and a half there.
So you didn't do 3 years. You did a year and a half.
It was maybe a year for the 3.
Okay. So after that, what did you do?
After the problem is the Russians, when they was in the concentration camp, they said, "Oh, from here nobody goes out, nobody goes home. Here you will die." The Russian people talked to and I said, "What?" I couldn't do nothing anyway. The problem was when they started the war, Russia with the German. They had a Polish an agreement not to bother the Polish citizens, Polish people. They started to give us better food in the concentration camp.
Yeah, in the prison, you mean?
People were not no more hungry. It was okay. This was I don't know how long, a few months or something. Then they let us go, liberate.
Mm-hmm.
Then we took the train, traveled from the Siberia to Asia, the Uzbekistan. There was a warm climate.
Right.
We went there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then was like the war was suffering, and it was a good time and bad time.
So
till the end, till the war.
You stayed there till
Yeah, but in Tashkent, in Uzbekistan, we did whatever we could.
You stayed there
We
for
survived.
How long did you stay there?
In Uzbekistan,
Yeah.
about 4 or 5 years. So, some friends, I walked with them, and we came to, she lived in a little place, and I saw her there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So you met her at your friend's house?
I stayed at. We didn't marry. We just lived together. It was by accident. I find him. He came to the city where I was living in Fergana, in Uzbekistan.
Okay, it's a city.
The main city was Fergana.
Uh-huh.
Lola was born there in Fergana.
Uh-huh.
So he worked with another fellow in another place in a factory. And I was talking to this fellow, and he told me, "I was working with your brother. I saw something looks..." Okay. He told me your brother's here. and I find him in the city. We were together all the time.
So you lived together.
Yeah.
And was he married then, or was he single?
He was married there.
He was married to Genya?
Yeah.
So you lived together? Y'all lived together?
Not together in the same city. He was. I had my place. Neither his place.
So he didn't live with you?
No.
No. Okay.
I was working in tailoring. I made, and he was on the market, swap meet.
Swap meet, selling. When did you get married to Mom? When did you get married? What year?
we wrote that we went to a place where we wrote down the names. When Lola was born, got to have a name. So we in Russia you don't have marriage. We go to the place, you paid 5 rubles, you got a paper, you married.
So you didn't have a wedding?
Not the wedding,
you just
not
had
a rabbi, nothing.
Nothing. You just got a piece of paper.
Like
And Lola was Lola Topiol. That's it. It's a family.
Okay, so that was in 1945.
94, yeah.
And Lola was born when? In
1945.
what month?
May.
May.
Yeah.
May what?
May. I knew the May. I guess in the May, but in May.
Okay, May 1945.
Exactly, she was born a week before the war stopped.
Was over.
It's a good question. I was hiding my money. I put a little pocket and I had a jacket. I put I was a tailor, but a needle.
Right.
I made a little pocket right here behind, and I put the money there. And I was sleeping, not undressed, never, because
right.
like this.
Right.
It's covered by my money.
Right.
And they couldn't get it out of me.
Okay.
They were searching in the pocket. They were searching all over. I didn't care.
So while you're sleeping,
my money was sitting here.
While you're sleeping, they're looking through your pants and they're looking through your your shoes.
There was evidence that took out. If you have good shoes, that take out the shoes.
They took the shoes while you're sleeping. And if you got up, what would happen?
The boots. They took out new boots. They took it out. They cut them off and take them out.
What would happen if you wake up?
I didn't have. They didn't do it to me. I didn't have the boots.
Okay.
But you know, everybody was sleeping on the floors and the stations. And the thieves walked around with the people. They took out boots when everybody. You wouldn't say a word.
You were scared.
And sure, you're against.
They would kill you. So you're lucky. So they never got your money.
No.
What are in this?
Everything, no, not my money.
What other things happened?
I after I was with a group, Salek, you know Salek.
I remember him. Yeah.
You know, if you work in a group, and the people they knew I have money. They planned how to get out my money.
Nice group.
Don't they rob me?
Those were your friends?
And take out the money.
Those were your friends?
Not friends, just people with there's no friend when it comes to money. And I don't know what happened. They told me later they planned, but they didn't do it. My money was hidden.
Right.
I had the money. I bought a watch. A watch in Russia is like you would have the Empire Building in New York.
Yeah, it's very. And nobody stole your watch?
No.
No?
The watch didn't work good. So I went out to to the mark, and I sold them right away.
Oh, okay.
A watch was not easy to sell because a watch is like a big building.
Right, it's
So
expensive.
I get back my money. It was working, but moving a minute, it stopped. I took back my money.
Okay.
Okay, no more watch.
No more watch. Okay. So,
I was working tailoring, and they brought me stolen goods. Little thieves, they brought me the leather coat and this and that,
a fur coat.
fur coat,
Mm-hmm.
a big coat. I cut them and make two small ones. And I have a clock on the wall. I tell her I wants to take my clock. The wall, the thief.
So basically, you survived because of your trade, your tailoring.
Yeah,
If
mostly.
you didn't have tailoring, you wouldn't have made it.
No, I made very good money with tailoring.
Right.
I was very fast. I made a one called a day.
Mm-hmm.
I had 1,000 ruble for a coat. We left. We ate like the kings.
Now, what happened? You didn't.
With chicken, with the meat. And
There were times where you had no food.
it was periods.
So what did you do?
The last 4 years when I was stable in a place,
You had plenty.
was everything.
But what did you do in the
I-
times when there was no food? What did you do?
Oh, that's a good question. Most of the time I had a few something to buy,
Uh-huh.
but I had a few days when I was hungry. I didn't have any.
Yeah.
A couple of days, 2 days I didn't eat. But I went to the place where they sell potatoes, onions, food. So I took out an onion. I ate the onion. Uruk is like prums type. I took the prums.
You had to survive.
One time I took 2 other guys with me, and I teach them how to steal on the market.
Mm-hmm.
How this lies down. He said, "Nichbul means how much is it?" And I took an onion, nichbul. She told me the price. I take away the onion. And he had a sack, and we put in the sack the potatoes, the onions, everything was.
And you made a soup.
After the market is closed, I have some people, with the family people. They bought the whole sack. I didn't need the sack.
Oh, you sold it.
Sold it. I didn't need it. Then we went to a place where they sell soups and bread.
Mm-hmm. And you bought the soup and the bread.
Yeah, for pennies.
Right.
The bread we didn't need. I ate 4 soups. Lapsha, lokshin,
Mm-hmm.
it was enough.
Mm-hmm.
So the bread I sold again.
So-
One time, I was in a place they sold spichki. This means the elements, packaged elements.
Mm-hmm.
In the store. The store prices was very low. This the government price. So I bought a bunch of this, and I went back to another place, and I sold
For
it.
more money.
And this was the one trip. The second trip, I bought the elements, and all of a sudden I have big temperature. I went to the doctor. They didn't let me out. I had the typhus.
Mm.
So the money I had in put in the hem in the shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I put in the money and they tied it up on the shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And when they give me a bed in the hospital when it was very cold. To be one place the other naked. Okay, they put me in the one and the wie heißt es, the
A
one?
tub.
The tub. And she looked at the shirt. What is this? Money. And I was unconscious, not 90% not conscious. I said, it's my money, you know. when I came out of the typhus, I was, where's my money? Where are my spitchkins? The element. I was worried. They let me out already. And they took my clothing in a safety place. Right. They kept it alone. I almost want to leave. I say, I had the money. I had the element. They gave me back
they give you everything
the money,
back?
yeah, with the element.
Honest people.
You know, this. When I left the hospital, I couldn't make 10 was heißt das, Tritt.
So you can take a step.
3 steps I couldn't make.
Right.
Because it was after lying there about 6 weeks.
You were weak, very weak.
Yeah, very weak.
Uh-huh.
But the husband, the element, when I came back to the other city, it was already established the Polish army.
Mm-hmm.
They organized the people that would take him
to fight.
And I want to go also, but they won't take me. They have the spots for the 10 typhus. They show it. When are you gonna go? Okay. I found that there was one was close to the officers. You know. And I said, I gave this, but you get the element, and they let me in to have extra portions and food.
Mm.
And it was cooked very good. They were like military, good soup.
Mm-hmm.
It took a week. I was there for a week. I come back to me.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of food to eat.
What year did you have? What year did that happen? The typhus. What year do you remember?
This happened when it was when they organized the Polish to tank the war. 42, I guess, maybe.
Maybe 42, so that's before.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be 42. After the war,
1945.
came back to Lemberg, Poland.
Poland.
But the Russia was there.
Uh-huh.
There was no more Poland, Russia.
Uh-huh.
In Lemberg, Lemberg, we stayed there about maybe 6 weeks or something.
Was your brother with you?
No.
No? Just mom? Just Faye? Mom?
I don't know, we split, I don't know what happened, I didn't have him.
Okay.
And, okay, from Lemberg, we went back to,
What was that?
back, I think to Germany.
You went to Germany.
Yeah, because apart from Poland become
Right.
the German.
Right.
Yeah, but it was still Poland before.
Right.
I came back to this place and I stayed maybe a year, I don't know. And from there I went to Paris.
How'd you find your sister?
Sister?
Nadja, right?
Nadja I found in Munich, in München.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody hanged up a note on the wall with a name, with a telephone.
Mm-hmm.
So people can find it. And I will come to look at the list. I say Topiol. Topiol. I said, it's my brother.
Right, you thought it was your brother.
So I took the address, the telephone, and I went to this place. What they show me.
Right.
I came to this place. Was the cousin? You remember the
Yeah, Michael
guy?
told your cousin.
It was he.
Right.
So you talk to cousin and everything.
Sure.
And talk about his family. I know his father, his brother, but he didn't have confidence in me because he had another Topiol to cheat him out. So
He didn't know you from before the war?
no.
No? Oh, so he's a distant cousin.
And he told me somebody came here to look also.
Mm-hmm.
This was Yashi.
Oh.
I came to this place to look for this Topiol,
Right.
and he came.
And
to
he
this
came.
place.
He thought it was you.
And he left it to the others, but it's Topiol. They were died here,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to this place with
Yasha.
Najee. You get understand the moment when we get together was terrible.
Yeah,
We were so happy.
I'm sure.
She was
Seen
looking
it.
for me in Russia, and she find my address. But the thing is, when the letter came to this place, I was moved to another place.
Mm.
Otherwise, she would be with me all the time.
When was the last time you saw her, your sister? When you left Poland? 39?
Yeah,
And then you met her in 45?
yeah, 45.
45.
With the Vova, was
Right.
a little boy
Right.
running on the street.
Right. So after that you went, after Germany, you went to France, Paris, France.
For German to
From France.
Paris. And I took over to Paris. Najee and Mama, we lived in Paris.
Oh, Mom wasn't in Paris with, she didn't go to you right away?
Yeah. No,
No, she was left, she stayed.
she stayed in Germany.
With,
It was a camp.
With
Not
Lola.
a camp, a place for the
Refugee, I know what they are, yeah.
refugees.
With Lola, she was there with Lola.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how did you go to France? How come you didn't stay in the camp? How did you get to France?
And with Lola, with the kids, I didn't know where I'm going. I went alone. When I came to Paris, the same person who brought me to Paris brought me the mama.
Mm-hmm. And then your sister.
Then after a while, I told him to bring me Yashi.
Mm-hmm.
He brought me Yashi.
And Nadja too.
Sure, together.
So what year was that? What time when did they get to France, Paris?
To Paris,
Yeah.
47. 12 years.
Right.
It's 59.
Oh.
59 I came to America.
Right.
Well,
And, wait a minute. How'd you find your brother, Jack?
That's a good question. When I came to Poland to do Belgium,
Uh-huh.
I find him. I don't remember. I find him.
So you met him in Poland after the war.
And we were together in the same city in Germany,
Right.
in Waldenburg, Belgium.
But he
I went to Paris. He didn't go to Paris.
no, he went to
He went to America.
right. So
I went to Paris, he went to America.
Went to
Here's
America.
how he find me in Paris. Maybe he had the others.
he knew you went to Paris.
Yeah.
Did you know he went to America?
We split when I went to Paris. He stayed another year or two in Germany.
Okay.
After he went to
He went to the United States.
how find me how I had this in Paris. In Paris, I come from Germany with $10 in the pocket. That's a big money.
No.
And I never changed the $10. When Carola, the mama's sister went to Israel, I gave her the $10.
You gave Carola the $10?
I made money the minute I came to Paris. And first day I made money.
With tailoring.
Yeah. And it took a year. I could buy apartment. And that's all.
And I know you had a factory manufacturing. And
Yeah.
That I know.
Was okay.
And then we went to the United States.
How'd you
Went
get
to
to the
New
United
York. I came by ship.
By plane.
Yeah, no,
By
I
plane.
came by ship.
With the TWA. This was the best plane then.
Yeah. Still
Yeah,
is.
never.
I know.
In New York, no, I didn't go to New York, but I come to America when in San Diego.
San Diego.
I made a business in San Diego and I lost the money. It was a bad location, but I lost
But you also.
I have what I
But
have.
we lived in New York, so you went to New York.
Not in New York, no. I had a store in San Diego and I went to New York to pick up the money. Stayed there about
6 months.
4 6 months,
Yeah.
something. In the business was no business. That I came back to San Diego, business was not good. Then I want to move to Los Angeles. So
But we stayed in San Diego for almost a year.
more than a year,
Yeah.
2 years maybe.
And then we went to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then.
In that case, and Los Angeles started again. The new, what
Yeah.
I started tailoring, everything.
Tailoring, and then you had
Alteration.
clothing stores, right? You bought you bought a cleaners,
clinic.
Kramer's Cleaners on Fairfax,
Yeah,
and you did alterations there.
yeah.
And then you got your stores.
Yeah, I wish my family, they wouldn't have to live that life what I had lived in the past, with wars, with hunger. When you will watch the tape, you will see your father, your grandfather, your grandfather. And I like to be remembered whenever I will be gone as a good father, grandfather, and grandfather, great-grandfather. And my wish for you is you should be good people and loving people, as I mentioned. And God bless you. Good night.